Hello everybody, and in today's video we will be ranking our top 10 nature games. So let's get into it. This is Gaming Up with the Joneses. My name is Michael.
And I'm Janela.
So let's do this. How did you do your list? Did you...
What do you mean?
Like, did you just rank your top 10 favorite ones, or...
Yeah, for the most part I did my top favorites to my least favorite.
I did it weird. I did the top 10 games I think are the most nature-y.
Oh,
So
you'll get two perspectives. There
yeah.
you go.
So it's not my favorite games. If you want to see my favorite games, click on the link right here and go watch the top 10 games of all time. There'll be some nature games on there. But yeah, this is the most nature-y games you can get, in my opinion. So let's get into it.
His opinion only. Just kidding. All right, so my number 10, starting off with the nature game, is called... You want to hand it to me?
I don't know what it is.
Summer Camp. Summer Camp is a game where... I forgot what you're doing. You're a deck building game where you have 3 different tracks that you're trying to go through to be able to get patches, and then the person with the most points.
Whoever finishes all the track. Well, yeah, most points.
Most points, but you get the most points by finishing a majority of the tracks. But yeah, pretty fun game. It's like camping vibe, so that's why I like it. All of these games in my list also are, except for one, are all games that we own. So he's played different ones that we don't own too, so you'll see.
If we don't own it, we'll throw it on the screen, but if we own it, we'll just pick it up.
So yeah, that is my number 10, Summer Camp.
Interesting. My number 10 is New York Zoo. I can't do a top 10 list without having an Uwe Rosenberg game. The reason why it's only my number 10 is it's not really a nature-y theme. You don't feel like you're in nature, but it's a pretty fun game. Polyominoes, I still like it better than Patchwork because you get the animal breeding and stuff, and yeah, that's my number 10. New York Zoo.
So my number 9 is the only one that we don't have our own. It is Living Forest. So this game is a game where everybody has their own characters. There's 3 different objectives you can do. You can get 12 fire tokens, 12 of the flower lily things, or 12... What's the last one? I don't remember.
Plants growing.
Oh yeah, trees, of course. Yeah. Duh. But yeah, so you're trying to do either one of the 3. Whoever does their objective first wins the game. So yeah, you're trying to also like make sure kind of cooperatively, but not really, put out the fire so you don't burn out. So it's interesting.
And it's deck building too.
Yeah, and it's another deck building one. That is my number 9, Living Forest.
My number 9 is Summer Camp.
Oh, okay.
Summer Camp, she already talked about it. You're moving up through tracks. I guess I can show you the back of the boards since we already went over the front. That's what the boards look like. They're actually modular, so the game's a little bit different every time. And you only use 3 of the 9 decks, I think, to play. So there is a little bit of replayability, even though almost every card is identical. But it's a simple game if you want to get into deck building. If you've never played a deck building game, this is definitely the one to start with because it is very easy and you can get it at Walmart. We got it at Walmart. And it was even on clearance yesterday or a couple days ago. It's like $15. So.
Yeah, it was pretty cheap.
Yeah. Anyway, that is my number 9, Summer Camp.
My number 8 is New York Zoo.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so yeah, Michael literally just talked about it, so I guess I'll show you the back of this one. But yeah, like you said, you have all these different tiles that's all the way around, and you're literally trying to just make them fit onto your zoo. And then each time that you fill your specific tile with that one sort of animal, you get a bonus token. So if you left a one space open just because you didn't fit everything just right, that will help you to be able to fill in that space because you get negative points if you don't fill in everything in. So yeah, whoever fills in their zoo first wins the game.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy, fast, nature-themed game. My number, what was it, 8? New York Zoo.
My number 8 is also Living Forest.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, 10, 9, and 8 are all like just jumbled up but all the same.
It's so funny because we did it 2 different like ways, but they're still anyways.
Kind of there.
Yeah.
So in Living Forest, you are tree spirits, I guess, and you are trying to put out fires in the forest. You are trying to either get 12 fires, 12 points, or 12 trees planted. And on your turn, you can do 2 actions as long as you don't bust because you're drawing cards.
I forgot about that.
And you can either move your player, you can buy plants, buy animal cards, or put out fire. So, yeah. That is my number 8, Living Forest. Wow, we both forgot 8.
My number 7 is... Oh gosh. Stardew Valley.
Oh, wow.
So, we haven't played this game in a long time. And Michael had a bad experience playing it solo, so he has a bad taste in his mouth. But, yeah, this is like how I think of it is literally Farmville, the game off of Facebook, in a board game. Because I guess there is like a board game, or not a board game, like a video game type of.
It's based off the video game Stardew Valley.
Yeah, but I've never played it, so my biggest comparison is like Farmville. But yeah, you're literally doing like all those different things, like harvesting, planting, like baking, and just a bunch of different things.
Fishing, mining,
delivering
foraging.
your scraps, foraging. Yeah. So, what's the objective of this game?
To complete 4 goals and to rebuild your little town buildings or whatever. It's usually easy to do one or the other, but it's hard to do both together.
Yeah, definitely a game we still need to try out again, because I think we've only played it like twice.
And I need to be somebody else other than the miner, because I was the miner both times. Like, even when I played solo, I was the miner. And because I picked him because my objective was to mine low like last time. But I think he's just the most boring person to play. I think that's why I don't like the game. I heard other people complaining about that too. So maybe that's why it did not make my list.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
So that is my number 7, Stardew Valley.
My number 7 is definitely a somewhat nature-themed game, and it is Spirit Island. So here is Spirit Island big box game. This is one of the heaviest games we have in our collection. This game's pretty heavy. A lot of rules, a lot of stuff, asymmetric powers. Cooperative though, so that's fun if you want a nature cooperative game. But I would definitely not try to learn this game without somebody that already knows it teaching you. That's the best way to learn this game, is to have somebody that already knows it to teach you how to play, because there's so many like weird rules and stuff that like it's hard to grasp through a rule book, in my opinion. I think it's easier to be taught, because then you're like, oh, that's what that means and stuff. And then once you get taught, you're good. Like, it's not one that you really forget stuff, I don't think, because it's kind of self-explanatory after. But yeah, fun game where you have colonizers trying to colonize your island, and your spirit's trying to keep them away and scare them off the island to keep your little natives happy and stuff. So yeah, fun game.
Is this game on Board Game Arena?
I don't think so, but I know there's an app on your phone you can get that has a free mode where you can play it on there, and it does have an app on the computer, and then it's on Tabletop Simulator like everything else. So if you want to try it out without that stuff, if you want to try it out on Tabletop Simulator, you can let me know. I can teach, I guess. So yeah, I have a friend that it's his favorite game. So yeah, that's my number 7, Spirit Island.
Okay, my number 6 is Everdale.
Uh-oh. Stacked everything on top of it. Oh.
Everdale. Another game that we haven't played in a while.
We really need to play this one again.
They played it at the board game store, a local one, but we had a wedding to go to, so we unfortunately missed it. So we'll have to play it on our own time sometime. Yeah, this is a game where it's you have like different actions you can take by placing your workers, and then you can like buy different cards to give you different like boosts and stuff.
And it's like tableau building.
Mm-hmm. And then I really enjoy from this game like the nature part of it. It has a really cool tree that you set up, and it just looks cool. I really like it.
Yeah.
Does it have a picture on the back?
Uh-huh.
Are you going to talk about it sometime?
Probably.
So I'll let him show you guys the back later. That is my number 6, Everdale.
Nice. My number 6 is Ark Nova.
Oh.
Ark Nova might be my top nature game, but it is not the most nature-y themed game. So I put it at number 6. You are building, I mean, look at that cover though, holy cow. But anyway, you are building a zoo in this game, and it is pretty complex too, actually. This is kind of a heavier game too, and it's kind of long. It's kind of a longer game. I'd recommend it at 2 players. You could play up to 4, but I'd say 2 players because it really doesn't feel that much different at more players.
No, and it just takes a lot longer with 4 players because... I mean, I guess if you have like a lot of players that know exactly what they're doing like ahead of time,
it'll still take like 3 hours.
True.
Probably at 4 players. So, but if you like zoos, this is the zoo building game for sure. And I don't even know what else to say besides that. It's so big, you're just gonna have to check it out. So that is my number 6, Ark Nova.
All right. My number 5 is Spirit Island.
Oh, man, I just stacked everything on top of it.
Alright, so yeah, Michael, I think, talked about everything about this game. I'm trying to think. I'll show you the back side. Oh, it's all backwards.
Oh, whoops, I didn't put it on correctly.
But yeah, that's kind of what your board could look like. There's actually different tiles. So it changes. It can change as to what your like land starting land will look like.
Yeah, you have a modular setup, so it's different every time you play. And then there's 8 characters in the box too, so you got
from like level easy to hard. So I usually like
complexity.
The easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, that's some of the characters there. I can't see the names of them, but
there's like a lightning guy and a river person and a tidal wave person. A fear person, because a lot of this game is striking fear.
Yeah.
I want to try that guy, kind of, because it sounds fun.
Yeah.
But
this game, I really enjoy it, but it gives you that, like, stress level of, oh my gosh, because a lot of time, at each round, you have people that are, like, exploring, and then if you have explorers already in that area, it builds a town, and then if you already have a town, it builds a city. So you, like... are stressed out about like even the next like cards because you're just like, oh shoot, is this land gonna pop up and cause a city to happen because there's already a town there, so do we need to take care of this? But oh crap, no, they're gonna do some other crazy stuff over here, so we need to take care of that. So it's just like, what do we need to focus on first on this round without dying?
This game makes you feel like you're losing even if you're winning. Like then
does.
you're like, what? We won?
Yeah.
Like you don't know until like right at the end, and then you're like, oh, we are winning. And then you kind of know on the last turn.
That is one cool thing about like the fear too. Is like the more fear you get that bonus, and sometimes that can be helpful, but sometimes it doesn't really do much, depending on like
the
your
expansion
bonus.
ones help, I think, a little more, but they also add stuff to make the game harder too to balance that.
Yeah. That is my number, what is it?
5?
Yes, my number 5, Spirit Island.
My number 5 is Cascadia.
Ooh.
Cascadia, I'm sure will be on your list, but I love this game since we've got it. I don't know why. I still feel like it's addicting and like I just want to play it all the time. I don't know how to explain that. But it's a simple game, easy to teach. We've actually taught it to people when we barely learned how to play, so that tells you that it's an easy game to teach. You can learn really fast. It plays in 40 minutes at the most, I would say. You could probably play faster than that. It says 30 to 45 in the box, 1 to 4 players. But anyway, in this game, you are drafting a tile and an animal and then placing it on your little hex board thing that you're building. And yeah, you just put a tile kind of like dominoes, but they're hexagons, and then an animal that can go on any of those animal spaces because they'll have a type of animal on it. So really that easy. There's different ways to score, which gives you replayability. But really, a lot of the replayability is I want to beat my high score, so I want to play. So
Yep, definitely.
That's definitely a fun game. Cascadia is my number 5.
No.
Do you need it?
No. My number 4 is Meadow.
Oh.
Oh, whoa. That
I just
sound
about
good.
killed everything in the box. There's a lot of cards, that's why.
This is a really fun game that I feel like Dominion almost gives you too.
What do you mean?
Not really, actually. I don't know what I'm talking about. I was just thinking like the stacking, and in Dominion, you know how you can go stack, because you just get all the cards
This does that. Yeah, I guess.
Anyway, but yeah, this game is a nature game, if you didn't know already. Just kidding. This game you're starting off with, like, you can start off with different lands, different animals, or like buildings, but you're trying, depending to what you have, you're trying to get cards stacked on top of each other. So if you have a land, then you're trying to find an animal that can get stacked on top of that land, and then find another animal that can stack on top of that animal, and then you're just trying to do more and more. But there's also like different things,
It's like
objectives that if you have different, like, what is it, animals showing,
if you get like
lands,
2 of the type of things showing in between each other, then you can put
get
your thing
points.
there. Yeah.
So yeah, that is my number 4, Meadow.
My number 4 is Everdell. So I guess I can show you the back. Everdell is definitely a nature-looking game. Look at that. Holy cow. You get this big old tree here, and you're building your tableau, and you got workers. You're trying to get points. That's what those are. And then you basically move your workers to get resources, and then use those resources to build your towers or go get more cards. Or not towers, but buildings and get more cards. If you get like a certain person, like shoot, I don't know. I'm making something up on the spot because I don't know if it's actually in the game because it's been a while. But let's say you have a librarian. I don't know why that came to mind. Then you'll get the library for free if those are in the game. I can't remember. But like the worker will allow you to get the building for free instead of paying the resources to build it. So it's really nice. And then there's like 3 seasons throughout the game. And after every season, you get all your workers back plus 1 more. And then I think there might be another bonus. This game has like 6 to 8 expansions. I can't remember how many, like a ton. So we have not played any of those. We've only played the base game like once or twice, but yeah.
I didn't know you could play this game solo. It's 1 to 4.
Oh yeah? Interesting. Anyway, that is my number 4, Everdell.
My number 3 is Wingspan. This is a very popular game, so if you haven't heard of it, you should definitely check this game out. This is a game where you're trying to get a bunch of different birds. You can get eggs, and then also getting more bird cards to be able to get more, be able to draw more bird cards. Is that what that last one is? I don't know. Yeah.
The first one is food. She called birds. That's why she confused herself.
That's why I was so confused. So yeah, the first row is to put birds on there. All of them you can put birds on. The different bonuses you can get is food, eggs, and cards. There we go.
Sounds
I got
like
it.
You need to play it again.
I haven't played this game in a long time.
I played it like 3 times without you lately because I played at the board game store a few times.
I know, and then I'm gonna miss it again because I have to work Saturday.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It's the game of the week at our board game store.
Yep.
Saturday.
So yeah, this is a super fun game, and they did an amazing job with the artwork too, with the different birds. We only have 1 expansion, just the European expansion, so we need to try out the other ones too. Yep, that is my number 3, Wingspan.
My number 3 is finally an exact crossover. It is Wingspan.
Wow.
I just made her put it back first.
Wow, how rude.
But there's your little player boards that everybody gets. You're building a tableau. You can have up to 15 birds. But anyway, every single card in this game is different. So I don't know how many in the base game there is. I think like 150 different bird cards or something.
So many.
Like there's so many you can't even you like shuffle like half of them and then you leave half in the box because you know you ain't gonna use them.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting. You get different color eggs just for looks. You get this little dice tower, like bird feeder dice tower. And then you have 5 different resources. Everybody uses cubes. So this game is an action selection engine builder. But it's actually really good. If you want an easy engine builder to learn, but like complex and thinky, I think this is a good game. Because like, it's not too complex to learn, but it's not too easy to get bored of either. So I think that's another reason why it blew up. Because not only is the theme like people like nature stuff, but the complexity is almost like right in the middle of like hardcore gamers and casuals, like right in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's my number 3 also, Wingspan.
You should comment below if this is your first one that you're watching of our top 10 or if you were watching all our top 100, because this is our very first crossover of a list. So
yeah.
that's why we were like, oh my gosh, very first one. Okay. My number 2 is Cascadia. So Michael already kind of talked about this game, but this is a really fun game that definitely nature themed. And I'll show you the back here. He was trying to steal it from me, guys. I was like, no.
To flip it over.
But yeah, this is kind of what you'll start with. So you'll have like all the different animals. The animal cards will tell you what objective you're trying to meet for that specific animal, and then you'll have tokens, land tokens, and then animal tokens, and then you're trying to grab them and build onto your little board. But yeah, it's super fun. Each time, like you said, we want to try and keep playing it because we want to beat our score from the previous time we've played it.
And the last time we played, I got my worst score ever, I think. No, that was not the last time, because we played once after that.
Yeah, and I think you won. I don't remember who won.
We like always end up in the 90s, but sometimes you hit over 100 points and you're like, yes! Have you broke 100 yet?
I don't think so.
Uh-oh. I haven't broke 100 on Welcome To yet, though, and she always does, seems like, so.
Yep, but yeah, that's the pretty back cover and very nature front cover, so. That is my number 2, Cascadia.
My number 2 we also do not own. It is called Earth, and we still cannot buy it. We've been trying to find it. It is out of stock everywhere. And we don't want to pay extra to get it like double the price on eBay or anything. So we're waiting for it to be in stock somewhere. But anyway, it is honestly kind of like Wingspan, but everybody takes their turns at the same time. Because you have 4 different places to choose from. You don't put cubes because you don't have rounds, but you just pick one of those locations. But the cool thing about it is if you pick the green location, you do the top powerful action, but every other player gets to do the bottom minor action, so everybody gets to do something. And it always activates that color. So every color has means something in your tableau. And so if you pick the green action, which I think is planting or something, then all of your green cards' abilities can be shot off, which you can have up to 16 cards or something. So let's say like 7 of them are green. Boom, that's 7 things you get to do. So honestly, it might be easier than Wingspan to play too. And faster. So I can't believe it's not as popular because, I mean, it's starting to be pretty popular. In fact, I think it's one of the most searched games on YouTube right now. So when we do get it, we're definitely going to have to make videos on it. But she has not played it yet either. But it's definitely a nature-y thing game. You're building trees and stuff, and it looks pretty cool. I'll throw up images on the screen that you can probably see right now. But yeah.
Just kidding. It sounds nature-y because it's literally called Earth.
Oh, yeah. That's my number 2, Earth.
All right. And up next, my number 1. You guys should guess down in the comments because you should know this already. Ark Nova.
Look at that cover.
Oh, it's so pretty. So beautiful. All right. And I'm going to show you the back, because Michael already talked about it for the most part. But yeah, this is kind of like what the center board looks like. You have different cards that will show up that you can get depending on your card action. This is the points tracker here on the edges. So this is conservation points. that you can move up here, and then this is just, what are these called?
Appeal
Points on this side. And what you're trying to do is with your two trackers, you're trying to get them to cross each other. So whoever gets their trackers to cross first will end the game, and then whoever gets the most points wins the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is kind of there's a bunch of different like zoo cards that can give you different abilities, or you can just play the base one where you start off with the 3 enclosed ransom and a kiosk. And that's super helpful.
And there's also a base one without abilities too, if you wanted to play like fully even. I'm assuming that's how the tournament's going to be, because we're going to be playing this in the tournament in September most likely. Yeah. Kind of nervous because I suck at this game.
But yeah, there's a bunch of different cards. So you have like all the animals from all the different continents, and then you'll have, what are these? Science?
Sponsors.
What the heck, science? And then these are the green ones are the conservation ones, how you can get conservation points. So they're very different. So the biggest one that kind of helped me the game before, even though he still won, but to be able to come back was to be able to do this. Because if you can tell, I don't know if you can, conservation points move you a lot farther and faster than the appeal points. So yeah.
But the appeal's easier to get, so it kind of evens it out. And the appeal is also your income for after every.
That's true. So you do want to like focus on that at first, because depending on how far you are here, it gives you higher income. And then there's 5 different actions you can take on your turn. There's draw cards, place an animal into your zoo. Build a building, so that's building a space for an animal. Sponsors, and then association, which I don't see these. Oh, it's up here. I was like, where is it?
Basically,
and so there's another
place a
board.
worker on that board.
So it's like a worker. So that's my number 1, which you guys should have all known. I'm just kidding. Ark Nova.
My number 1, in my opinion, I think gives you the most naturey feel when you play it, and it is Meadow. And you must have knew that because you were grabbing it.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out, like, which one did we talk about? Yeah.
So Meadow, you're building, like, almost all these different habitat type of stuff. And every card is different in this game, too. In fact, they have an index. You can look up the cards to see what animals they represent and stuff. The artwork's really good in this one, too.
It is.
Really good. And, I mean, just look at that little, I don't even know what that thing is. Like a mini fox dude? I was going to say otter, but that's not an otter. I don't know.
If you know, let us know.
Weasel? It looks like a weasel. I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
But, anyway, that's the cover. She already showed you the cover, so we'll show you the back. There's this little, like, campsite-looking place. And then your little, this is the area where you draft the cards, but you draft them in a weird way because you have these tokens, and the number on top is, like, this one's a 2.
Oh, yeah.
If it's put there, it will grab that card in that location 2 spaces away. So, yeah, and then once somebody places their thing there, you can't go there, so you have to go around in other places. And then everything has a different ability on the other side that you could put in the other side, and you put it on this part, and that's where you can complete the goals. So let's say this goal is the bird and the berries. So if you had both of those symbols in your tableau down here, then you'd be able to do it. Yep. So you'd be able to put your token there to score more points. And yeah, that's mostly it.
Yep.
But that is my number 1 most naturey themed game, Meadow. So what'd you think of the list?
That was interesting. We did, even though we like had separate, what do you call it, like ways that we were doing our list, we still had pretty similar lists.
I think everything crossed over except for Stardew Valley and Earth. I had Earth and you had Stardew Valley. Everything else we had on our lists, which is kind of crazy. But we only had like 14 that we could think of to choose from or so.
Yeah. There wasn't a ton, but...
Yeah, and then like pushing it. I mean, New York Zoo does not really give you the nature feel, but in my opinion. That's why I put it at 10, but I like the game a lot still, so yeah.
Let us know if you guys have like a top 10 of nature games, and let us know down below, or if you just have your favorite nature game, let us know that down below too.
Yeah. And smash the like button too, because that helps us out a lot.
Just smash it just like that.
And click subscribe if you want to see more, and ring the bell and all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.